this. So let me weld this bottom piece up real quick, turn my welder back on, and then once I finish that, I'll do a couple more tacks on this and get this done. So let me continue on that. This part I'm gonna have to do a voiceover because I did have the compressor going on, but pretty much here in the front, I'm working on the front. I'm gonna put this coolant overflow tank and the front battery bracket somewhere in this firewall on the passenger side. And I'm thinking this coolant overflow tank is gonna go in here. So I gotta make a little bracket to bolt in somewhere right there. And then Jeff and I spitball some ideas, and we're gonna put this battery bracket somewhere back in here on the firewall. Just insert that thing to the firewall. And then you can see Jeff over here is helping me clean the frame, bare metal, and we're gonna start getting this ready to prep and paint. But while he's doing that, I'm gonna be over here in the front trying to get this bracket welded on the front and back using some of this flat iron. So let me see what I can come up with and try to bolt it right up in here. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We're gonna do unfortunately a bit of a jump cut because a lot of stuff got done off camera, just little things here and there, so it wasn't too much that was missed. But here I'm finally picking back up where I left off. I'm not sure how many days from the record of this video we have days left for LST, but the days are getting closer and closer. But luckily, we're kind of on the downhill slide of the build process, but just seems a little bit overwhelming. But at the same time, I have some help coming in from Jeff, so we should have no problem getting a lot of this stuff done before then. So here I'm going to show you guys so far what's going on and where we're planning to head with the project, and pretty much I guess see where we're going to land as far as what is going to be done by LST, and hopefully we can get all this done. So let me show you guys real quick. All right, so we have the front extension panel all welded in, and I need to smooth it out a little bit, do a few more welds on this bracket, and then I need to make the bracket that's going to be holding the computer. We're just going to end up putting it right here on top, and then we might have to end up notching the hood possibly to be able to clear that computer right there. But I'm going to try to move it as far forward as possible to avoid having to do that. So that's pretty much going to be it. We need to seam seal, paint, undercoat both fenders. The passenger side fender still has not been welded, so I got to do that. As you saw in the videos, I have a few clips. We have the shock mount brackets already mounted on both sides. This side I know I didn't record for sure, but it is pretty much welded, everything welded in here, as well as the little notch cutout for the tie rods. So I'm going to end up cutting a little bit of this off right here so we don't have any clearance issues. And then pretty much as you see, also we started cleaning up the frame and getting that ready to paint. And then because of these already got powder coated before I did the shock mount bracket on the bottom, that is pretty much what I was able to come up with. I really don't like it, but it's weird in the fact that the way the arm articulates, and we have to put that shock bolt in the back. It's going to be a little bit difficult to explain, but as it's cycling, that bolt for the lower shock ends up coming up at an angle. So I got it as best as I could on the passenger side, and I'm gonna have to try to replicate that on the driver side. I'm not sure if I said passenger or driver, but this is the passenger side. Now I have to replicate it on the driver side. So that's got to get done. That's all that's left as far as suspension wise on this side. Got to get the controller mounted. I got to get the lower bushings, the ball joints, go ahead and get those pressed back in, and then we can start cleaning up this side of the frame and getting this painted. And then let's see, I got to do also the cutout on this, get that done, and then after I finish welding that in, then we're essentially done with the front suspension. So the shock tab and then that little notch cut out for the controller or the tie rod. And then garden center back here, we've been cleaning up the frame. I'm gonna have to open up the door first and get all these plants moved out. We got to finish cleaning up that side of the frame. Jeff already cleaned up the majority on this side. Get the drive shaft pulled out, clean the drive shaft, pull the brakes off of the differential, get that cleaned up and painted. So it's pretty much a bunch of cleaning and painting process at the moment. And then I got to make a bracket back here for the second battery, because we do have a second, something else that we're gonna try to build back here, but we're not for sure if that's gonna make it for LST. But yeah, that's gonna be the process. So the garden center needs to be moved out first, and then Jeff is gonna come over here in a few minutes and continue helping me on the cleanup of the frame. It's kind of difficult at times because he'll sometimes use the air hose on the little die grinder to knock some of that stuff off, and then I'll need usually the air whenever, and the compressor, the wall outlet, for the plasma cutter and for the welder when I'm welding up here. So I got a little Milwaukee battery powered grinder, but I tested it out here yesterday on the frame. It's okay, but I guess due to safety stuff to where it doesn't burn out the motor. If you put too much pressure on the pad and like kind of stop the disc, it will actually just turn it off, and you have to reset the trigger and then start over. So probably not the best solution for trying to clean up the frame, but we'll work around that and see what we do. So, and then also up here we have the battery mount bracket that we're gonna riv nut here to the firewall. We have a bracket up here that I made or welded one side to the radiator port. This side's bolted in, but it's for the coolant overflow tank that's gonna be bolted up right there. Got to get that painted. And then if I have enough metal, sheet metal, if I don't, I might have to pick up some during the week, but we're trying to make a little beauty cover that's going to go across the front of the radiator support, but that'll be at the end. Main focus right now is doing the control arm stuff, getting the computer mounted to the fender, finish welding the passenger side fender, cleaning up the frame. So essentially trying to make this drivable as soon as possible, so we know that we don't have any issues coming up. And then we got to pull the seats, steering wheel, and that's supposed to be getting redone as well. So that's going to be the process for today. Like I said, Jeff's going to be coming here in a few minutes, so kind of go over the rundown with him and just get this thing started. So while I wait for him to come in, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting out the notch cover, the tie rod cover. I don't know why I keep calling it notch cover. The tie rod cover, or the tunnel for this side. So let me get started, and here comes the time-lapse montage.